Hi guys! I love Christmas. I love Christmas movies. I don't care if they all basically have the same plot, if they're from Netflix, Disney, Hallmark. I don't care. I can't stop watching them. Out of all the streaming services though, I do feel like Netflix does it best, and here's why. TLDR, they are very predictable. Netflix is really good at following specific film formulas that get them a lot of views. And I'm not saying predictability is always a bad thing necessarily, because I love Netflix. It's kind of like comfort food, but it really just depends on the payoff you're looking for. There are times where I don't like it, for example, action, adventure, mystery, superheroes. In my opinion, those are genres that require a higher intellectual payoff, you know? When you're watching something full of suspense and danger, you're seeking the excitement that you normally wouldn't see in your everyday life. So unpredictability is good because it keeps you engaged, and plot twists are pretty important. When we watch romances, dramas, comedies, it's the opposite. I feel like these types of films are a bit more relatable, and we crave emotional payoff that gives us comfort. It's more like a reassurance that everything will be okay. And in that case, predictability is what keeps at least myself watching all the time. If you've seen my videos before, you probably know that I love cheesy romances. They're mostly horrible in the best way possible, and by the time November hits, my binge watching gets progressively worse. Favorite Christmas production? Dash and Lily, 100%. Least favorite? Specifically, The Princess Switch 3. 1 and 2 were fine, but you lost me at evil Vanessa Hudgens triplet. I'm sorry. Anyways, Netflix slayed with their Christmas movies this year. They released 4 romances and 1 animation, which are Hot Frosty starring Gretchen from Mean Girls, The Merry Gentleman starring Chad. The way he looks so good. Meet Me Next Christmas with acapella group Pentatonix, Our Little Secret starring another Mean Girl, and That Christmas, which is apparently directed by the same guy that made Love Actually. The general consensus is that it was a fun ride. And overall, I am very satisfied with the amount of corniness that I consumed this month. Let's get into each movie. And I'm gonna start in order of what I watched. Hot Frosty. Released November 13th, Hot Frosty is a story about an unexplainable supernatural event in which a snowman named Jack comes to life. He's basically a newborn in an adult man's body with a rapidly growing intelligence. He's also temperature sensitive, you know, being that he's made of snow. Kinda. Opposite to Jack is the Christmas miracle catalyst, Kathy. She's beautiful, kind, and selfless, but she has a dark past. She's a widow whose husband died 2 years ago. Because of this, she becomes very closed off and down during the holidays. And so being that Jack was born the day they met, his childlike behavior is what brings holiday spirit back to the town. Now this concept is obviously goofy. The magic makes no sense, and ultimately it's resolved as a Christmas miracle. But that's fine, because no one's actually watching this for a full breakdown analysis, like, let's be real. If you're wondering about their dynamic, I would say that it's kind of like the common trope of black cat and golden retriever, except roles reversed. I don't know about you, but most of the films that I've seen with this trope have the guy as the moody black cat and then the girl as the happy golden retriever. In this movie, however, it's reversed, and let me tell you, not my type. I don't know if it's because this guy was born a day ago and like hasn't fully developed a brain yet, or because he was just like an extreme case of golden retriever, but in my eyes, he was doing absolutely way too much. Hey, if you're into it, I'm not judging. Everyone has their type. I get it. Overall though, it was a really fun and wholesome movie. I guess that's what you should expect from a movie whose main lead has starred in 30 Hallmark productions. If you want to watch a cozy, innocent, PG movie just to spark that holiday spirit, go give it a watch. Honestly, as dumbfounded as I was watching a literal snowman sway an entire town, I have to give it credit where it's due. It was kinda funny. The cops carry the humor, and I got a few laughs out of it.
And how you have your mustache, but it's like just the bottom half. It's so confident.
These dark brown pocket lapels, that was me.
Those dark brown pocket lapels are the perfect thing to accentuate your lower chest.
That's what I said. That's the exact thing I said.
Okay guys, I'm gonna do this for every movie. If you don't want spoilers, skip ahead now. So as you guys know, Mr. Snowman is not my type, and there were some things specifically about his character which like really had me questioning the creative direction of this movie. Number 1, obviously, his relationship to Kathy. I'm not exactly sure the time frame of how long he was alive for, because obviously it's all within December, but he also takes on a job at the school. So okay, let's say he's 3 weeks old max. Kathy, you're dating a newborn! And he gives off childlike behavior. That's weird. Another thing I find ridiculous is the ending. So Jack basically dies and then comes back as a permanent human. Again, the supernatural elements are not really relevant to the story, so it shouldn't matter, but it was just too goofy. Not a single tear was shed for a guy that just died to basically police negligence. He's literally dead. I would be screaming. Also, how does the transition from snowman to human work? He's in the body of like a 30-year-old man, so his brain should be filled with 30 years of knowledge and memories. We know that he was a fast learner when he was a snowman, but now that he's human, how is he going to develop the basic and necessary skills that every 30-year-old should have? Does he still have the intelligence of a 10-year-old, or is his brain going to keep rapidly growing until it catches up to his body? Anyways, you don't have to question these choices if you're not into the logic. If you're a stupid head with no common sense. Honestly, it bothered me like 40%, which means that majority wins. I was still able to enjoy the movie, and it was a fun one. Next up, Our Little Secret, released on November 27th. Now this movie has some pretty big names, including Lindsay Lohan from Mean Girls, Ian Harding from Pretty Little Liars, and Kristen Chenoweth, who I can constantly recognize, but I don't know where in particular I've seen her from. 10 years after a harsh breakup, exes Avery and Logan have long moved on. They're both seeing someone new at this point, except when they go to their partner's family Christmas party, they find out that their significant others are siblings. So, in the week before Christmas, their stay under the same roof forces them to spend time together, and of course, the spark between them gets rekindled. Problem is, they haven't told anyone that they used to know each other, and so they must keep it a secret to avoid awkwardness. Okay guys, in terms of the plot, I will just say right off the bat that they could have prevented everything that happened in this movie if they had just told people they used to date. Is it just me who doesn't see a problem in that? Like, even if they didn't want to admit that they used to date, they could have said that they were friends. I don't know, I just feel like that's so much easier than having to lie about someone's whole existence. Oh, and can we talk about the intro of this movie? They basically summarized an entire decade in one montage. Honestly, I blinked right before it started and I thought I clicked a different movie by accident. I had to do a double take and rewind just in case I had missed something important that led up to this montage. But no, I didn't. And I thought that, okay, maybe this movie is just going in a different direction than I thought. Maybe this movie is about pop culture. You know, he works in global news, she works in social media, something like that. But again, nope. After the montage, it just went back to a normal Christmas movie, except it was set 10 years later. It kind of threw me off because it felt like we just broke the fourth wall, you know? Like we're talking about the Ice Bucket Challenge, Stranger Things, real life politics, and then we just go back to our little fantasy Christmas movie. It was like an ad break. Super weird. Anyways, spoilers ahead. Skip if you want. The movie was pretty chaotic, from being stoned at church to a fake health scare involving the dog, all the way until the very end with that weird family reveal. So Avery and Cameron are dating, but Cameron's secretly seeing Sophie. The mother, Erica, is married to the father, Leonard, but Leonard is actually having an affair with Sophie's mom, Margaret. Margaret's husband, Stan, is completely shocked, but Erica already knew, and all of this is going on while Avery and Logan are secretly in love too. Surprisingly, the only innocent characters are the ones with the worst personalities in the whole movie, Callum and Cassie. Oh, and Stan. Did you catch all of that? Listen, as crazy as the plot sounds, it's actually so fun. It's silly, dramatic, and so chaotic that you can't look away. I'd say that it falls under the category of ridiculously unbelievable Christmas movies, as do most of them, but it's not a bad thing. That's the premise of most Christmas movies and what makes them so great. Of all the crazy movies on this list, I'd definitely say that if you're only gonna watch one, it should definitely be Our Little Secret. Okay, meet me next Christmas, November 6th. I was on a roll with Christmas movies at this point. I watched Our Little Secret, Crown for Christmas, and then Meet Me Next Christmas all in one day. So I had high expectations, and not in like a jaw-dropping cinematic way. No, I mean like in a super cheese, super Christmas vibes kind of way. At this point in the night, on my third movie, I was like a monster that gets its energy through cheese. So with that being said, I'm not sure how I felt about this movie. Make no mistake, it was definitely cheesy and definitely Christmas themed, but it kind of felt like an ad. I don't know. I watched Sneakerella on my channel a while back, and I realized I'd never seen a movie with so much product placement.
Bring him first, because what you're not gonna do is scuff our—
Oh my god, wait, is this whole movie sponsored? And this movie was kind of giving the same. Out of the two, I feel like Mimi Next Christmas definitely did a better job at hiding it, but overall it was pretty obvious. And now I'm just gonna sound incredibly stupid if it's not sponsored at all. Anyways, let's get into the plot and you'll see what I mean. So it starts off with the main character Layla at the airport. She is waiting to go home and see her boyfriend when she meets this amazing guy at the lounge. James is handsome, smart, funny. They bond and she introduces him to her favorite musical artist, Pentatonix. But again, she has a boyfriend. She rejects him and he gives this nice little goodbye speech, which is basically, if we ever run into each other again and we're both single, you'll know it's fate. Lo and behold, when Layla gets home, she finds her boyfriend cheating on her and she takes it as a sign to search for James. 1 year later, she ends up finding a picture of him on the Rockefeller website showing the world that he has purchased a Pentatonix ticket. Layla is then like, I need to get a Pentatonix ticket. And so the rest of the movie is her searching for one. Yeah. I can't remember where I saw this, but I got a good laugh out of it. Someone said, the most unrealistic part of this whole story is that a Pentatonix show is completely sold out and there are no resellers. Clearly, Pentatonix was sponsoring this movie, or maybe one of the ticket distributing websites that were mentioned. But I don't think any of those companies are actually real, and I can't find any evidence that Pentatonix themselves are actually involved in anything more than the cameos and their original song. So I know that there's an ad or a sponsorship hidden somewhere in there, I just can't particularly find out what it is. And I think if you're watching this as a Pentatonix fan, it's a great movie. They sing a few songs and they're not horrible at acting. But I went into it as a normal Christmas fan with no idea that they were even in it. And so I was kind of shocked at their presence the whole time. And I thought they were going to make a small cameo like the Jonas Brothers did in Dash and Lily, but no, they were a pretty significant part of the story and I was definitely confused. Personally, I feel like the whole thing was a little bit overkill. I mean, they ate, don't get me wrong, but let's be for real. It's not that deep. Okay, now for the spoilers. 3, 2, 1. You'd think that this is the whole plot, right? Layla and James. Well, wrong. Layla's partner in crime for the majority of this movie is Teddy, the employee from the company she hired to find tickets for her. So yeah, the love story isn't between Layla and James, it's between Layla and Teddy.
Oh
no.
go ahead.
They end up going way past client and seller boundaries and even spend Christmas dinner at his mom's house. May I remind you, at this point, she's still searching for James. It was a wholesome story of unexpected romance, but I kind of just thought it was weird the whole time. Like, she was flirting with a man in the airport while being in a relationship, and then she gets cheated on, pursues the man she flirted with, but then falls in love with the guy she hired to find said man. It's just all over the place. Oh, and it turns out that James had a girlfriend all along. Hey, but for real though, a Christmas movie is a Christmas movie. Definitely give Hot Frosty and Our Little Secret a watch first, but if you're craving that holiday binge just a little bit more like I was, watch this. Despite the whole ad thing, it still does follow the generic rom-com formula, and if you do watch it, please keep count of how many times they say the word Pentatonix. Last in the romance category, we have The Merry Gentleman, which came out November 20th. Honestly, I thought this movie was about gay strippers. I think Netflix might know me a little bit too well because every thumbnail they've given me for this movie has been of Chad, and I think it was set to this when I went to go watch it. So you can see where I may have assumed that I was about to watch a gay stripper romance. But no, instead we've got Ashley. She is a big New York City girl. She works as a dancer in Broadway, a successful girl boss. However, she gets laid off for being too old, which Ouch. And that leads her to go back to her family's small hometown for the holidays. Her parents own a bar, which was super popular when Ashley was young. She remembers it as a place that brought all the townspeople together. However, when she arrives, she finds out that the bar actually hasn't been getting much business lately and it's on the verge of shutting down. So being that she is a dancer, she recruits all of the hot men in the neighborhood for a Christmas-themed male stripper show. One of these men includes the repairman Luke, who becomes the main love interest. Now, unlike the other movies where the characters were doing way too much, the leads in The Merry Gentlemen were doing too little. Neither Ashley nor Luke really have a personality. I wouldn't really call it a rom-com, but instead just a rom. Honestly, if you don't like over-the-top dramatic acting, then this movie is for you. The drama is very mild and it's got that peaceful small town vibe. And hey, Britt Robertson and Chad Michael Murray in the same movie. But personally, I think exaggeration is an essential when it comes to Christmas rom-coms. As for the whole male dancing plot, I feel like they tried to go for a Magic Mike thing, you know, ahaha, they're so sexy that everyone's gonna eat this movie up. I mean, like, true, they are attractive, but the whole point is that they don't really know how to dance, so the show kind of just turns into eye candy without any substance. You know? Spoiler section! Skip ahead now! Luke actually makes some pretty snarky comments towards Ashley about being a big city diva, which, like, what's wrong with that?
New York. That explains it. Come on, city girl. So you're a diva. City girls are all the same.
She was a girl boss, striving in one of the biggest cities in the world, getting an offer from her old company that anyone would be crazy to reject. But she rejected it. For love, because Chad Michael Gaslighter said, I only did this for you.
For the first time since Amy left, I thought I found something worthwhile in my life. I didn't even want to be in this ridiculous show, but I did it. I did it for you and for your family. I was starting to fall for you, Ashley. Thank you for showing me who you really are before I did.
Never catch me putting my own career at risk for a man. I was gonna say that she did this for love and family, but even her parents were like, bye, we can handle this ourselves, go live your life. Anyways, that opinion could just be me. I know love is important, but so is money. I'm gonna write the sequel to this movie right now. Ashley realizes that Luke manipulated her, so she dumps him and moves back to New York City to fulfill her dancing dreams. Years later, she's moved on and she's seeing someone new. She goes to her new boyfriend's family Christmas party, only to find out that Luke is dating her boyfriend's sister. Turns out, Luke moved to New York and he is also a big city diva now. He owns a construction company, and so Ashley and Luke lie about knowing each other, and their stay under the same roof forces them to rekindle their. And finally, the last movie on this list is the kids' animation That Christmas, released on November 30th. So it starts off with Santa saying something along the lines of, "Let me tell you about one of the most challenging Christmases of my career." That's my Santa voice. And right off the bat, I was thinking, wow, this is about to be an amazing, epic movie where the kids join Santa in traveling across the world and delivering gifts. But 30 minutes into the movie, the kids are still at home and Santa is MIA. And after 1 hour, I finally had to give up the idea of an adventure. I say this because I had no idea what this movie was about going into it, and nothing really happened during the first hour. I was confused until I realized that the plot was about family and not about Santa. So let me tell you the actual plot. It's about a town that gets hit by a big snowstorm. Families are separated during Christmas and it's up to the kids to make the best of it. I usually really dislike children, but none of them in this movie were annoying, so good job! And knowing kids movies, I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that everything worked out in the end. I especially like the plot between the outcast kid, his mostly absent parents, and the wicked principal with a secretly warm heart. Really wholesome plot. It was an adorable movie, and I think that the animation had immaculate Christmas vibes. Would I have preferred an action-packed magical adventure? Maybe, but it's fine. And if you have kids or if you just want some family Christmas joy, I definitely recommend it. I do. And okay, final spoiler section. As cute as the movie was though, I do have one complaint. The climax of the plot happens pretty much right at the end. The kids are reunited with their parents and everything is great. Except when one of the parents realizes that their youngest child, Evie, who is just a little toddler, is missing. Like straight up, the back door was left wide open and they have to search the entire town type of missing. The oldest child there, who is either a teen or a preteen, and also Evie's sister, was responsible for all the kids. When Evie goes missing, she says to their mother, "We were just playing hide and seek. I don't know what happened, I'm sorry." In which the mother responds, "It's okay." No, it is not okay! I don't know how this mother is so chill about her literal child going missing. It was like the mildest reaction I've ever seen from a parent. My baby has literally disappeared. I would be more understanding if the teenager was somebody else's child. Like, okay, maybe I shouldn't punish a stranger too hard. But my daughter lost my other daughter, and my reaction is just, it's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
The teenager, whose name I can't remember if you can't tell by now, is freaking out. She has a way more appropriate response than the mother. She's panicking, crying, and extremely apologetic. When she finds Evie, she's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so stupid." And again, the mother is like, "No, it's okay. The only thing that matters is that you found her." Okay, I'm done. That is my one critique. It is a good movie. Go watch it. Anyways, that is all for today. I hope you have a better sense of Netflix's 2024 Christmas lineup and can decide which ones are right for you. My personal favorite was Our Little Secret, just because of its absolute chaos. I thought it was so unbelievably dramatic that I ended up having a great time. Christmas is right around the corner, so I hope you have an amazing holiday season. Let me know if you give any of these movies a watch, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!